Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
What's up, everybody, and welcome into the Friday edition of the Auburn Blitz. Brett Pritchard alongside Bill Young to start out the show today.
Hey, good to see you, buddy, in War Eagle.
Well, no doubt. War Eagle. Randy will be with me a little bit later, but our corporate partners are so important to our program, and Mortgage Pro has been such a huge part of the success of our program, and Eric defaulted to you today.
Yes, he did. Yes,
so
he did.
we get Bill Young out here today to start the program. Hey, Bill, there's a lot going on in the mortgage business. Of course, we got a lot to talk about today. Auburn, Alabama on the hardwood tomorrow in Auburn at 1 o'clock. Can Auburn kind of get back on track? Got one of the best teams in the country coming in. We'll talk a lot about that. Softball underway here in 30 minutes down in Clearwater, Florida. They get their season started against St. John's in a tournament down there through Sunday. They'll play 5 different teams. We'll talk about that. Baseball starts next weekend, next Friday, a week from today against Indiana. So Indiana will feel like they're at home because I saw the extended forecast. I think it's going to be 28 degrees. Of course, you know, welcome to baseball season, right?
And we're in February, you know. So
that's right. But Indiana will feel right at home with a 28-degree weather day. We'll talk football recruiting. Hugh Freeze continues to just pound the pavement and impress in a very short amount of time, and a lot of other things to talk about. But while we got Bill here, Bill, first of all, thanks to Mortgage Pro. I know I talked to Eric a lot. I talked to you a lot, but we really appreciate Mortgage Pro's partnership with us here on Auburn Blitz and our programming, and you guys impact so many lives with helping them save. That's our tagline on this show every day. Mortgage Pro saving people thousands of dollars on their refinancing and on their, being able to finance a home. And I know the market's kind of crazy right now, but there are a lot of different things that people can do to prepare for when maybe they want to kind of target a rate. Absolutely.
And first of all, let me say thank you for having us on. We're honored to be a part of Auburn Blitz. And it's, the market as a whole is the fluctuation of rates that are going on out there right now scare a lot of people. I mean, when you're when you're a homeowner, you don't know when and where to go to get your home financing and things like that. But I'm just going to encourage you that if you have someone in the home financing world that you trust, that's who you need to go see to talk to them about, what's out there.
No doubt.
What may be good for someone today may not be good for someone else.
Right.
And so you really need to look at your own.
And here's the thing, and I know we've had, historically low rates for a long time.
Yeah.
So you knew eventually the market would check. But those of those people out there that may hadn't checked their rate in a while, they may have financed at a point in time where even now would be a break for them.
Absolutely.
It's important to go out and know where your rate is.
Well, you better know that when you're in the homeowner's business.
Right.
But and it doesn't cost anything to do that. You can contact your professional and basically talk to them and say, hey, where am I? Is there something I can do to save money?
Right.
Hey, it could be some type of debt consolidation. If you got something going on. Who's to say it's not a great time?
Cash is always king.
Where lowering your debt-to-income ratio monthly is very valuable for everybody right now.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of that people don't understand. They think, oh, Mortgage Pro, it's just, hey, I don't need to finance a house right now. I'm not in the market. So many more things that you can do. You can look at your credit, and as far as how much equity you got in your home, and you can turn around and use that to your benefit instead of having to go get a loan.
Yeah, and I think the sad thing in the financial world is that a lot of young adults and young couples that don't understand how to go about being prepared to do that. So, if you're a young family out there and you haven't bought your first home yet, contact us and let us do a review of where you are right now to see where you are and what you can afford to do before you go look at that first house. Because when you look at that first house and you love it, and then you find out you can't afford it, and so you want to know what you're shopping for.
Absolutely. Again, Mortgage Pro and Eric and what he's done here in this area. It's been a mass expansion into other states. I know you guys are licensed not just in Alabama now, but you deal with clients all over the Southeast.
Yeah, we've got Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee as part of our portfolio now, but we're statewide and we're located in 2 different locations
right
now. You know,
and I'm about to dive into that because they just finally you guys are in your new facility down in Dayville, just off of 49 down there. So beautiful facility.
Man, excellent, and a great environment down there. But we also still have our office in Alexander City, so people that don't see the sign up there right now, don't panic. What's happened is we have taken that sign down to our new location, and we'll still be in that building in Alex City as well. But great opportunity for us. Most of the mortgage world now, you do online or phone call type business, so you don't have a lot of walk-in traffic.
About like everything else nowadays. Technology has advanced to the point where you can do a lot of things electronically and mobily. There's still those that want to be in there and want to sign that paper in person and make sure all that stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. No, and you can still do that. Yeah,
but and just know that the Mortgage Pro business is stronger than ever right now, just because we're not in that particular spot full time right now. But we're fluctuating back and forth to both locations. So we're here for you. If you need us, call us.
Well, Bill, talk about that new facility down there. I know there's going to be other businesses that come in down there, and if you haven't seen that facility, we're going to be doing basically here in a month or so, we're going to be doing maybe like a tour of that on video that we're going to push out for everybody to see. And a lot of that has been in the works for a long time. So I know Eric and you and everybody else is finally glad to be in that building.
Without a doubt. I mean, Eric has developed a shopping center area down there that has 11 businesses within the shopping center area. He's also going to be putting a grocery store on one side of the shopping center and a car wash on the other side. This entire development is going to have doctor's offices. It's going to have, of course, you got a mortgage company, you got a real estate company. There's going to be a restaurant down there. There's going to be
another one of our partners, Big Fish Real Estate.
That's right. Big Fish will be down there, but there'll be urgent care down there as well. So
that place is just happening, man. There's so much growth going down that stretch and all the way down toward Niffers and all. It's just it's a wonderful place and a lot going on.
Yeah, and and I'm glad you brought that up because if we get too short on time, just hit me with this. But the great thing about this is that when Eric developed this, he's a Dayville guy. His family went to Dayville and everything, and he was able to turn around and give back to the city of Dayville by developing this. Because now Eric is island annexing back into the city of Dayville. So all sales tax dollars that are spent down there in that shopping center area will go back into the city of Dayville. And hey, small town USA, we need all kind of stream of income that you can get.
Hey, well, our first comment coming in today goes to you, Bill. How about that? So you already garnered a comment. Tyler Sanders said, hey to my old friend, Bill Young.
Let me tell you, one of the greatest guys I know. I hope he's still over in Silicaga.
He is. He's in Silicaga. Yeah. He is a devout watcher of our program.
And he's one of the best looking people in that family. I want you to know that, Ty. Hey, thank you, Ty, for reaching out. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, all you got to do is compliment Bill. He'll pay you later. Hey, Bill, before we let you go, I got and again, Mortgage Pro, a big partner here on the program. Couldn't do the show without them and what they provide. Just glad to be partnered with such a great company. Bill, before I let you go, got a big game tomorrow. You're a basketball official. You love basketball. You've been refereeing for a long time. And I might want to bring you back because the hot topic right now in the country is referees.
Oh, my goodness.
And, bring you in another capacity to kind of discuss this. And I know we don't have enough time to do it, but there's a massive shortage right now, and it's getting worse. So we can talk about that a little bit later. But tomorrow, big game. That arena is going to explode with
game
energy.
Day being down there and everything. And but I'll tell you this, Auburn they play so well down there at Auburn. They've had a couple of hiccups and all that, but Alabama is playing as good as anybody in the country now.
They are.
And what a great challenge! And if anybody can get Auburn up, Bruce Pearl can. I mean, look, he's really got them going. You got some players that have stepped up. Flanagan's done well. Williams has gotten stronger. Broome, of course, is doing well, but But you got to love Green. You just got to love Green and his
Right.
effort, every night.
Well, Pearlville is in full effect out there. There's about 200 and something tents outside the arena that went up last night, and they slept there last night, and they're going to be sleeping there again
Yeah, I hope my
tonight.
wife slept well last night. She's up there.
You want to save your spot to get in there. Hey, but the excitement of basketball in this state has gone to new heights with the addition of Bruce Pearl coming in and what he's done with a program that's perennially been at the bottom, but the last 5 years, the most winning program in the SEC is Auburn, and I didn't think I'd ever say that in basketball. So it just tells you to the level of where we are with it and how exciting it is. You got gymnastics tonight. You got LSU rolling in number 9. I think Auburn's number 5 or number 4 in the country. Mm-hmm. So you got a great match up there. So they got to weed through. You got to weave through the tents to get into the arena tonight.
It'll
for the
be worth
gymnastics.
it though. Gymnastics is great.
Yeah, I know.
There,
I mean, who doesn't want to watch a all-around Olympian? We got a call real quick before we go to break. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Brett.
Hey.
Y'all gonna bring Bill Young on there. Y'all need to get him a high chair. All we can see is the top of his head.
Hey,
there's Charles. There's Charles with a good
Hey,
one.
Charles, you doing okay, buddy?
I'm fine. How you doing?
Good, man. If you bring me a cushion, I might be able to get up to that same height, But
Okay.
Kane tried to work with the camera, but he don't do what he can do.
All right. War Eagle.
Hey,
War Eagle, buddy.
Just got to take shots.
Yeah.
Hey, you got Teflon on. That's what it is. So, hey, Bill, we got to get to break. Hey, thanks, man, for coming out here.
Anytime.
Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, they do a wonderful job and great business to be associated with. We're glad that they're partnered here with us on the program, and again, couldn't do it without them. War Eagle to you, Bill. Hopefully a big win tomorrow.
Yeah, let's beat Bama.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Up against our first break. Stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here on this Friday afternoon. Brett Pritchard now with Randy Lee. I want to thank Bill for coming out here with Mortgage Pro and a big-time partner of ours, along with Big Fish Real Estate Group at Lake Martin, Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores, and now J.A. Smith Construction. Glad to have them a part of our program as one of our corporate partners. Randy, we'll dive into the obvious here. There's a couple things. First of all, before we dive in to mostly talk about Auburn and Alabama on the hardwood, they bumped it up. We knew it would happen. Texas and Oklahoma are going to join the conference next year instead of in 2025. Both teams are going to have to pay a combined $100 million to get out of it. So, but they came to an early, and it's good for everybody involved. The Big 12 doesn't want them hanging around anymore because, you know, why you want teams that you know are going to be gone and are really already a part of another conference winning your conference. That makes you look bad.
It does, and also it's just hard deals to cut throughout the business negotiation all the way around, because you can sign a long-term deal, but these things are fluid. These things are always moving. In today's media world, you know, it's a television rights deal, but now you're throwing in social media outlets and YouTube television and YouTube in general, and keep going, and next 5 years is going to be something different. So my point is those decisions are being made constantly, and getting them on out and having some negotiations maybe with some other teams to join the conference expedites that process a little bit more. So I think we all expected it to be sooner than it was, and I don't know if that's good for the SEC, bad.
I think it's good. I think it's good. Go ahead and get
it going. Good if you want more money.
Yeah, just roll it on in.
If you're very proud of championship runs and winning conference titles and all of those things, I mean, at a certain point, it makes it extremely tough to do when you keep adding very good programs throughout. And I mean, I can have that same argument all the way around, but if the argument's going to be, let's make as much money as we can.
Well, that's what everybody,
that's
what drives college anyway. I mean, it's what drives everything. I mean, that's no secret. That's what the whole gist of this whole deal is anyway. Basically, you know, you got to check yourself at the door to remind yourself that all these teams are moving. You got UCLA and USC in the Big Ten now. I mean, a lot of people have forgotten that. They remember the deal here a few months ago in the announcement, but then they go, crap, that is right. They're going to join the Big Tens, and they got to fly all across the country. And it's not just football now. You know, when these schools join these conferences, their volleyball teams join, their softball and baseball teams join. This is logistics, man. This is a lot of, you know, we think of it on football terms 99% of the time on all of our shows, and most national media do too. But this is involving every other sport that goes on in a conference, and they got to go play. I mean, you think about the Big Ten and the geographic part of that. All that's over here on the east, and then you got 2 teams that are as far west as you can go. I mean,
tells you how much money's going around. It doesn't seem to concern them whatsoever if they can enter one of these massive conferences and what's becoming of the SEC. And you feel like you're getting left behind, Brett. You know, you're put into a predicament where you've got to make a quick decision. Maybe that for the long term you feel may be a good idea, but you're not real positive about it. But the way things are changing and, you know, the vision is where I'm a little concerned, and I don't know. I'm not in on those meetings, but what is the vision? I mean, is the vision a true Power 5, and then get everybody else in their own subdivision where they can compete for their own championships? I think there's something to be said for that. I've argued that with you, and I've said that. It's not that you argued back, because I think you agree with me.
No, I agree with you.
You know, if you're in one of those conferences like UAB and Troy and others,
don't you want to have something to play for?
I'd rather have something that I woke up on the first day that we start spring training or fall camp and know that I got a championship in sight. And
absolutely.
My goal's not only a conference championship, but it's also a national championship. And I feel like you can sell that to the fan base, and I don't know how
sell it to players too.
I don't know how you can't sell that to media outlets that are looking for eyeballs to watch whatever event that you're putting on too.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, a lot of these schools that are going to be competing against this powerhouse that's continuing to build, they have no chance. I mean, so yeah, I mean, you might go out there and run off an undefeated record, but they're not going to give you a shot at it, and pretty much you are out of it, like you said, when you put your cleats on the first day of spring practice. You're not even in consideration for it. So why not create another division? You know, we know this is going to a super conference. You know, however many teams get in it, so be it. I think the days are numbered for the SEC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, those titles. They'll eventually go away. And you'll have all the top, however you want to divide it, top teams, money-wise, size-wise, however they want to determine in that group, and then everybody else will have to figure it out. And then that'll form. I think it'll form naturally after that. I mean, Boise State. I'm including those type teams that, you know, are going to get left out of this because they can't hang monetarily. It'll be a good thing. I mean, it gives you still great football played there. And I think one of the biggest concerns that you and I had maybe a year or two ago when we started talking about all this, is that now you're going to start losing, kids are going to lose opportunities to go to school and play a sport that they love.
Well, this conversation started with UAB.
That's right.
You know, we've had so many kids. We currently have a kid that's committed to UAB to go and play football in Corey Milliner. I think he's exceptional. I think he's got potential NFL talent.
Right.
I've said that all year, maybe the last 2 years with you and I broadcasting games together. And I'm glad that he's got an outlet to go out there, and maybe he's at UAB all 4 or 5 years. Maybe he's only there a couple of years, and he moves on like Wendell Green from Western Kentucky all the way over to Auburn, and he makes some hay there. But, you know, my point is that you still need that outlet to go and get a start. And the more that these things move and the more that the money tends, and this is capitalism at its best, so I'm going to sit here as a big-time proponent for capitalism, but most of the time, the top just keeps getting better.
Well, the top's going to separate themselves even more. The gap's going to get wider.
I think the gap's as wide as it's ever been in my life right now.
In the smaller schools, they money-wise aren't playing those schools anymore, so they're not getting the revenue to keep their program. That's what we're talking about. There won't be opportunities there unless they change the way it's done. Up against another break. Stay tuned with Auburn Blitz right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road, 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
No monthly payments for 120 days at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Check out the powerful new Chevrolet Silverado 4-wheel drive crew cabs discounted up to $7,500 off. The midsize Chevrolet Malibus up to $5,250 off. Shop online anytime at glennsmith.com. That's GLYNN Smith.com.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the ground or on the way. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Friday edition of the Auburn Blitz. Brett and Randy here with you for 30 more minutes. We'll have Jason Caldwell on the next segment from inside the Auburn Tigers for his weekly visit with us at 12:36. We're glad to have him on to talk mainly about what we're about to talk about, Randy, is this game tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Gymnastics will be in action tonight. LSU coming in, they're highly ranked. Auburn highly ranked, should be a good match there. So Auburn Arena going to be rocking for 2 straight days. But Alabama rolls into town 21-3, 11-0 in conference play. Auburn 17-7, 7-4. 3 really close losses on the road to Tennessee, West Virginia, and Texas A&M. You know, if they find a way to win those games, Randy, we could be sitting here looking at a team that's 20-4 and maybe a top 15 team still in the country. But it's 17-7, and it is what it is. And Auburn hasn't been able to find a way to finish these games. They've had some golden opportunities. You know, West Virginia was out of conference. You want to win that game, but it's not detrimental. You had a great opportunity at Tennessee to steal one. They're playing really poorly offensively right now. They lost again to Vanderbilt at the last second shot, but it's because they're just not scoring points. You look at the Texas A&M game. Auburn had the lead back and forth, extended it out. We led it by 12 at one point in time. Radford finally didn't have a career night against Auburn. Perfect opportunity to steal one, couldn't finish. So two great opportunities are gone. Now they're looking at a 4-game stretch starting with Alabama that if they were somehow to win this game tomorrow, they could go on a 4-game winning streak because you got Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, and I'm trying to remember who the other one is. Anyway, there's 4 games right there. They could go on a run. Missouri. They got Missouri at home. They can win those games, and now you're looking at a team that is sitting there at a 21-7 mark. It could change all the way around. But if you allow Alabama to come in and blow the doors off and you split all those other games, you're looking at a team that's limping down the stretch.
I think more importantly, a win versus Alabama, and you win maybe 2 of the last 3, if not all 3, and you're into the NCAA tournament. I think a win against a team like Alabama, even if it's at home, because
you're going to get massive credit for it.
Anyone's eyes that watch this Alabama team know that this is a potential Final Four team. I can't stand sitting up here and saying it. I'm an Auburn fan that dislikes Alabama with all of my heart, but that is a super basketball team. Man, you watch them play, and when they are hitting on all cylinders.
I don't know how they're not going to make it.
They could play poorly, and they did against Oklahoma, and they were out physical in that Oklahoma game. I know it was at home for Oklahoma, but, you know, the blueprint on what you need to do against Alabama was shown there.
It was.
But you got to be able to defend Brandon Miller to a certain extent, and you got to be able to defend the perimeter, and you've got to be able to go down in the post and bully them around and score buckets around the paint.
That's what Gary asked me today and on his show, Gary Harrison. I told him, I said, Janai Broome and you know, whoever by platoon, even Jalen Williams going down there, Cardwell especially, going to have to utilize him. Auburn's going to have to try to get some of those guys in foul trouble for Alabama. They're going to have to pay attention to that part of the game. They can't get beat on the offensive boards. They can't give – and Auburn's been getting whipped on offensive boards lately. You know, giving teams 2, 3, 4 opportunities on one offensive possession. Can't do that against this team. You get blown out at home. So inside presence is going to be huge. On the flip side, Auburn's not real deep. Janai Broome can't pick up 3 fouls real quick in this game and have to go to the bench and sit most of the first half.
Not the way Trey Orr's played.
That's exactly right. Trey Orr's really not an option right now. He's not getting any minutes. He's not even getting in. So you got to have somebody to guard Bediako inside. You got some big guys. You got Clowney that's 6'10". You got to have to figure out a way to maybe get them in some early foul trouble. Again, I know Auburn, the discrepancy at Texas A&M, it was 39 free throws for them to 14 for us. But again, that's all about guard play too and getting inside and forcing your way to get to the free throw line. Auburn has been getting beat by their opponent the last 3 or 4 games pretty handily at the free throw line. They're just not getting there enough.
And if you're worried or if you think that Alabama won't get there and you look down at these numbers, then you've got something else coming your way because this is a team that's physical. This is a team that's long. They're long at the guard. Their point guard's really good at breaking down defenders in front of him. Alabama shoots the ball a lot better than Auburn. 35% from three-point arc. Auburn's only shooting 29%. That 6 percentage points is massive. That 35% is probably where Auburn was sitting the year that they went to the Final
I
Four.
never would have thought, though, we'd be dead even in field goal percentage overall, though. Now that I look down at that stat, both teams shooting 44% from the field overall. But the difference is that three-point shot.
And that difference on that three-point shot is 11 points per game difference in the average of both teams. Alabama averages almost 84 points per game, whereas Auburn's sitting down there at 72. That's a big difference because
that is the difference.
Alabama can play good defense, too. They're giving up 67 points per game, whereas Auburn's giving up 64 points per game. So we're a little better defensively if you just go off the stats. But the change is Alabama's winning each of their games by an average of 15, 16 points per game. So they're running away from opponents. You got to kind of keep them at bay. Alabama's had games, though, on the road, and where they've looked.
They go on streaks where they'll hit 3 or 4 threes in consecutive possessions, and a 2-point game now is all of a sudden a 12 or 14-point game. And that's how fast it can get away from.
That's what great teams do, especially great perimeter shooting teams.
Great shooting teams.
You know, Auburn's run in those first 3 games of the NCAA tournament with Jared Harper and Bryce Brown and that crew, Chumo Kiki.
They shot people's eyeballs out.
Yeah, they just got so hot and had teams, you know, on their heels from the get.
Right.
And that's what Alabama can do to you. You know, they can get really hot, and they've got enough guys that are, you know, of different size. You know, when Brandon Miller's at 6'9", going out there on the perimeter and shooting the ball the way that he does from the perimeter. And look, he's SEC Player of the Year. If there's anybody doubting that, he's averaging 19 points per game, 8.5 rebounds per game. He's the best player we got in our conference. He's a top 5 pick. He's Jabari Smith. Nobody would sit there and question that. He's got the chance to be that type of player, but I still think it's 50-50. I like our chances.
Well, because of the arena. I mean, that's exactly what I told.
You got to take advantage of that.
Well, I made a prediction that with all things equal, and that brings things back towards center more by playing at Auburn, it's going to come down if Auburn plays good defense and Alabama doesn't just go nuts offensively. I think it could come down to who's got the ball last in that. And, you know, so I like your chances there. Going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have Jason Caldwell with Inside the Auburn Tigers. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
LNG Ad Agency is the go-to vendor for all your digital and print marketing needs. We have in-house production for all projects, including graphic design, web design, social media marketing, videography, and print marketing. Our video production is up to industry standard with modern 4K cameras and drone capabilities. We pride ourselves in client-committed relationships, and every project is personalized to your needs. Visit lmgadagency.com for a free quote today. Let us tell your story.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
WAXC TV3's Basketball Game of the Week is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC on the Columbus Parkway in Opelika. Get ready to smile. Catch game replays on WAXC TV3 and on our Roku app. Games replay Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. and also Saturday and Sunday at 6:30. Catch the replays of these games airing now from Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC in Opelika and WAXC TV3.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here on this Friday. Again, thanks to all of our corporate partners for allowing us to bring you this show. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome in our great friend, Jason Caldwell with Inside the Auburn Tigers. Jason, good to have you on again, buddy.
Hey, guys. How are y'all?
Good, man. It's Friday. A lot going on in Auburn tonight and tomorrow. Got a big gymnastics meet tonight against LSU, and then you've got Alabama rolling in, the number one team in the conference, top 4 team in the country. Auburn on a little bit of a skid, losing 4 of their last 5 games, 3 of them being very close. I'll start there. Jason, what does Auburn have to do tomorrow to get a win? I'll just cut straight to the chase. What do they got to do?
Yeah, actually I thought the other night A&M played pretty good basketball game. I thought it was one of the better games they played in quite a while. But the free throw disparity was too much to overcome for them. And I think you look at it, to me, you look at Alabama and you look at Auburn. To me, this game has to be played in the 60s, low 70s for me for Auburn. I don't think if you're Auburn, you're going to win this game 85-81. It just doesn't. This team isn't made that way. And so I think this has to be a defensive grind, ugly basketball game. They got to frustrate Alabama defensively. Can they do that? They can. But Alabama, this is the kind of team that gives Auburn issues because Alabama is such a long team. Got those big wing guys that can cover so much space, and Auburn's not a big team on the wing. And so this is going to be an important game for Alan Flanagan, Chris Moore, Jalen Williams. Those guys have to play really, really well for this team, and I won't be surprised if we see a lot more of Trey Donaldson. He's the physical guard that might have a little bit better matchup with this team. And I thought he gave him a spark against Texas A&M the other night. But I think this needs to be a, grinded out, 71-68, something like that. I think that's Auburn's best opportunity for a win on Saturday.
Yeah, that's the style of this team. There's no doubt. The thing that scares you is Alabama reminds me of a lot of the last 3 or 4 years with Bruce Pearl's teams. They score in the 80s and a lot of times in the 90s, and they can run away from you offensively because of their size. And then they just got such great shooters. And Auburn struggles to shoot the basketball. If you look on paper, both teams are shooting 44% from the field, but the discrepancy is that Alabama is about 6 percentage points better from behind the arc. And that's where they beat teams. That's a 10 to 12 to 15-point difference, and that's what normally happens with them. Can Auburn get out enough? I know Auburn only gives up 64 points a game. You think they can defend Alabama well enough from the perimeter to give them a chance?
Yeah, it's a must. You have to do that. Here's the other thing you have to do. You've got to rebound the misses. Alabama does a good job of getting offensive rebounds because there's so many long rebounds. Auburn has to do a great job of getting at least 4 guys on the board. You got to limit second chance opportunities, and that's really been something that's cost them. But if you're Auburn, you got to get some of those rebounds and get transition buckets. That's that's the thing this team can do to kind of give them a little bit of an edge. But, yeah, you look at Alabama, the last 3 games, they're averaging 15.7 made threes a game. They're averaging over 9 threes made a game on the road this year. Auburn only makes a little over 6 per game, period. And so you're talking about going in, if the averages stay the same, you're 9 points in the hole to begin with, if they're making 3 more games than you are. So, yes, Auburn needs to have a good shooting night. And here's the thing, there's potential. Wendell Green, KD, one of those guys, they need to have one of those, 18, 20-point games where those guys make 4 or 5 threes. That's what this team needs. They don't have to play perfect, but they got to play really good basketball, and you got to play for 40 minutes.
Jason, I want to take advantage of having you on the air. I think you do the best job of all of our beat writers covering baseball, and baseball's right around the corner. Can you give us just a quick update, your thoughts on this season, some of the players, some of the ones that we'll see that are new?
Yeah, lots of new faces. You're right. Actually going to go back out this afternoon and watch some scrimmage today, and there are some new faces. There's some key guys coming back, and when you think about Nate LaRue behind the plate, Cole Foster on the infield, and then Bobby Pierce and Kason Howell in the outfield, Joseph Gonzalez starting pitcher. Those are guys this team has to have play well, but they've added some really good pieces when you think about this team. Some transfers, a guy like Justin Kirby comes in from Kent State, who had 14 home runs last year as a junior for them as a corner outfield piece. But there's a lot of impressive young players. Ike Irish is a catcher that also sees some time at first base and DH, and I think he's in the lineup day one. Big left-handed hitter that one of the best hitters on the team already. I think people will see a lot of Ike Irish. And then on the mound, there's going to be some new faces. Drew Nelson's a guy that people in Alabama are probably familiar with. He played at Pike Lib in Troy, won 4 state championships in 4 years, a left-handed pitcher. He's a guy that's going to get in the mix, maybe even be in the rotation. Chase Alsop, sophomore, that pitched some at the end of games last year. But then, there are some new faces. Will Cannon's a guy that's a junior college transfer, actually from Central Phoenix City. Could be the back-end guy, along with a guy like Tommy Vale. Tommy Vale's 60-year baseball guy, was at Notre Dame with Tommy Sheehan, was at TCU last year, and he's looking for an opportunity to pitch one more year. And he's a lefty that, breaking ball stuff, pretty good fastball. So there'll be a lot of new faces, especially on the mound for this team, but really talented arms too. And got some freshmen, Zach Crotchfeld and Dylan Murphy are 93, 94 freshmen that will have a chance to get out there and get in the mix too.
Jason, you look at how the preseason rankings are. You look down, and Auburn goes to the College World Series last year, and you look down the West, they're ranked 6th in the preseason and not even in the top 25. But we all do realize what Auburn lost off this team. So I think a lot of this ranking comes out of 2 things. Number 1, a lot of unknowns for this new team. And number 2, just the conference you play in. I mean, somebody's got to be in the 6th spot. I mean, you look down below and you got Mississippi State, and they struggled last year at 7. But where do you put everybody? I mean, Alabama is right above Auburn by 1 point at 5th, and then you got Ole Miss at 4th, and then, good Lord, Arkansas at 3rd. Texas A&M won the West last year. They're 2nd, and LSU is at 1st. You just, it's all about how you get in the rhythm and how you play. It's crazy, this conference.
It is. You just talked about Ole Miss is 4th, Mississippi State 7th. That's the last 2 national champions, and neither one of them are picked in the top half of their own division.
That's crazy.
People, and rightly so, people talk about how good SEC football is in the West, and there's no division in any. It's a grind. The challenge, but this team is talented, and hey, like they always do, they'll battle, and we'll see what happens.
Well, Jason, as always, it's a great opportunity to have you on every Friday. We appreciate you taking time out, buddy. Have a good weekend, okay?
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much. That's Jason Caldwell with Inside the Auburn Tigers. Stay tuned. One segment coming up right after this.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce. Because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
OGS Tournaments. Russell Marine and State Farm agent Aaron Warren present Crank for Bank 2023, April 1st through July 4th. Win over $1.5 million in cash and prizes. Over 200 tag bass and 50 tag crappie are waiting on you. All ages are welcome. Fish from the dock, boat, or shores of Lake Martin. Get registered now online at crankforbank.com for only $110 for 13 weeks of fishing. It's Crank for Bank 2023.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Attention! Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months? You may be entitled to compensation. Call Zantac Justice now for a free legal case review. The FDA has warned that Zantac and other medications containing heartburn drug ranitidine may be contaminated with cancer-causing agent NDMA. Consult your physician prior to discontinuing any use of medication.
Please call 800-379-5986.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to hear is true, and the names have been changed because Brubaker Motors has sold to Sons Automotive. You heard right. Brubaker Kia is now Sons Kia of Montgomery. Furthermore, Sons Automotive is a family business with dealerships throughout the Southeast. The name Sons Automotive is synonymous with trust, and they care about the communities they're a part of. They're excited to serve the River region, and in the interest of justice, you will be served a sentence of big savings. Sons Kia of Montgomery, family owned, family driven.
Welcome back, everyone. Final segment here on the Auburn Blitz. I want to thank Mortgage Pro. The Eric McKinley team had Bill Young on with us to start the show. Glad to have him out here. Big Fish Real Estate Group at Lake Martin, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, and J.A. Smith Construction as our corporate partners here on the Auburn Blitz. Great to have Jason Caldwell on that segment. Does a great job all the way around. He kind of ran down the entire roster for us, save a few players. But it's going to be a talented team. This is a Butch Thompson-led program now that expects, Randy, no matter where they are in the preseason rankings, they expect to make it to a regional, host a regional now, super regional, and then College World Series, because he's been 2 out of the last 4 years to a College World Series.
You finish middle of the pack in your own side of the division. If the Western Conference and you finish middle of the pack, you're going to host a regional, and you're going to have just as good a chance as anyone in the country to
Isn't
make.
That crazy what he just said about Ole Miss and Mississippi State? You don't think about it. It's your last 2 national champions.
And I do mean it. Jason covers that storyline better than anyone because he's got a heart for it.
Yeah, he loves baseball.
It's really easy for a lot of us that cover Auburn athletics, and you and I don't do it for a living and on a daily basis, but we do have a program that we've been hosting for not just this one, but other programs we've been hosting towards this for upwards of 10 years now. And so it's so easy to sit up here and just talk football because it's an easy conversation back and forth. And it's the reason I'm, try to,
Brian Harsin made it dang hard the last
He made it hard, but it's about to get easy again.
Right.
And we do ride somewhat of a roller coaster. But even when it's hard, Auburn fans want to talk that. But I do toot Jason's horn because SEC West baseball is such a easy product if it's sold correctly. And I think Auburn does a pretty good job of selling baseball, but we probably could do a better job selling baseball.
Right. Well,
do you agree with that?
Did you see the approval?
Yeah.
And they're going to move forward with the renovations and the additions of Plainsman Park, and going to be awesome. Going to add 1,500 seats.
It's great.
Going to be nice.
It's a beautiful
It's
facility.
already beautiful.
Sitting in a great venue.
Right.
I'm not discounting that, and I'm not discounting our willingness to throw money at it. I'm just saying sometimes I don't know that we make it a priority like Jason does. Jason has always made that a priority to get out there and cover it, and I think a lot of Auburn
and we're glad he
beat
does.
writers don't. Do you agree with that?
No, I agree. And, Butch Thompson has vaulted this baseball program. Auburn's always had solid baseball, but, man, he's even taking it to another level. And when you keep making it to the big dance like he's doing.
I'll tell you this. When the Mississippi State job was seemingly coming open a few years ago, what did we all say? We're like, man, I'm scared because I could see why Mississippi State would want him because we don't want to lose him to anybody. Right. And Mississippi State's so rabid in baseball. They're so passionate about that sport in comparison to us. So I know that area of the state, you and I talk about this a lot, but that area of the state is the best area of the state of Alabama when it comes to baseball. High school baseball. And I'm not talking about just Auburn and Opelika and that area in Phoenix City, who Auburn and Phoenix City's been playing.
It's talent rich.
It's also Columbus.
Right.
And how passionate they are about baseball. So I think the fan base is there to be had.
Oh, it is.
It feels sold a little different. I feel like we may not be selling it.
I think you may be getting a change with that with John Cohen now as your
AD.
AD.
Hope so. That's a very, very good point.
Yeah, I think that's going to change. Mississippi State at the bottom. I mean, tell me their fans aren't perturbed by that. Had a bad year last year. Going in as the last team in the West, man, it didn't take long to be on rocks, as a coach. If you don't get it done, and there'll be a lot of pressure on Mississippi State this year to not finish seventh. I can tell you that. They don't have those expectations like you said. They're extremely rabid, and it can get away from you pretty quick. You can say, well, we won the national championship a couple of years ago, and this, that, and other, and we got probably the best facility in the conference, all that. If you ain't putting the right product out on the field, you ain't going to last long.
This is where big-time NIL dollars can creep into college baseball, too.
And even things up. This is where Auburn and Alabama can actually gain a little bit.
They can even up there, but it also is going to take a program that is as rabid as Mississippi State and Vandy, and it's going to say, look, we may not win a national championship in football. We may not win it in basketball, but I don't care what it is. Whatever the most anyone's willing to spend when it comes to NIL dollars to get us the best talent on this campus, I want my money going towards baseball. And I think Mississippi State would be one of those two programs along with Vandy where you could see it. So my point is, Brett, we'll see where this market takes college baseball because Mississippi State won't stay there long. And the first answer to that is not only a coach, he'll be on the hot seat, but also how can we get the best Bows and Joes in uniform at Mississippi State? And if that takes money, we'll figure out how to spend the money to do that.
Yeah, it's going to be who puts that a priority, makes that a priority. So going to be fun to watch. Auburn softball started their season today. It's underway. They're about 30 minutes into the first game. I don't know what the score is. Taking on St. John's down in Clearwater, Florida. They'll also take on Fordham today at 3, and then tomorrow Pittsburgh and Indiana, and then on Sunday they'll take on Illinois. So a bunch of snowbirds coming down. They're shoveling snow up there. So they got to go to Clearwater, Florida to play softball. But that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Auburn Blitz. Big one tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Auburn, Alabama on the hardwood. For Randy Lee, I'm Brett Pritchard saying we've enjoyed it. We hope you have. See you next time.